Welcome back guys to my brand new tutorial. In today's video we're going to create a whole Django real-time chatting application using Django and Python. Alright, before we start building this project, let me first show you what we're going to build and then show you the code of how we did it actually. So right here we have some kind of beautiful homepage right here, and as we can see here, it welcomes us to this Django chat app and explains that it is built with Django, JavaScript and WebSockets. And now it says here we can chat in a chat room, but first we need to register, because if we click right here it's going to redirect us to the login page, because you can only chat in our rooms if you're logged in. So let's just register a new user. Let's call him tutorial, yeah, I'm good with that. So yeah, just put a random password, and for the second password I'm going to intentionally mistake it, so we can see that actually those forms, those validation forms work. So if I register right here, we see it doesn't allow us to do it. So yeah, we need to do it again. So tutorial user, let's put a password, and this time let's not mistake it. Alright, and now we're logged in. So we see right here we can log out or find a new room. Now if we want to try to find a new room, or we can click right here also, it gives us this enter room code input tag. So you should know the code of the room to actually join it. So I know one of them, which is 55555. And if I try to join the room, we see the previous messages of that coding room, and you see it really good. It really looks good. This CSS and Bootstrap styling. Now, what I want to show you is that if we try to go right here, and let me log in as admin user. Alright, now I'm logged in as admin, and we see in our navbar, we see this create room navbar link. Now, why don't we have it inside of this? Why don't we have it right here? It is because we are not a admin user or the super user to actually create new rooms. Only admin or super users can actually create new rooms. So that's why when I'm logged in as admin, I can see this create room navbar link. So let's actually create a new room. We're not going to send messages in this workroom, and let's give it a name of Django tutorial. Alright, for the room code let's put free, and we see this chat room is created. Now let's go to this find room in our as we're logged in as tutorial user, and let's type right here 5 freeze, and we see we are logged in to Django tutorial chat room. And let's send a new message. Let's send it as the tutorial user, and let's send just hello tutorials. Alright, let's put 3 exclamation marks. And if we send this message, our admin client should not refresh the page. So we can click send, and you can see right here in this top left corner that this page will not refresh. It will just send the message in the real time. So let's do it. And you see it actually sent in the real time, also without refreshing the page. So we can actually see it right here. It is displayed on the left side if we are receiving messages, and if we are sending messages, it is on the right side. So let's send a new message as the admin user now to see if that actually works. So let's put I don't know, hi, nice to meet you, and let's put 5 exclamation marks. If we send this, now we see we are logged in as admin, and we see it right here that admin sent this message right here, and that this tutorial user received this message. And before we write any line of code, you can check out the link in the description. There is my GitHub account where you can find all of this code for this project, or also any other project I built. And also check out the pinned comment of this video. I made you a free PDF guide on how to help you pass the beginner stage and escape the tutorial hell. And now let's get to coding. Alright, so as I said, we're going to create models for our real-time chatting application in Django. But first of all, I want you to create a new Django project. I have a video about that on my YouTube channel. You can check it right here in the top right corner. And once you do that, let's get back to the video. Alright, so once you create a new project, we want to create models for our real-time chatting application. So to do that, we want to go to models.py. But first, I want to explain you what we will build in this actual project. So we'll have rooms that will be associated with certain categories. So for example, we'll have the owner who will create a room, for example, for work, for YouTube, for programming, for training, whatever. And the owner will set the name for that room. And once he set the name of that room and click, for example, create a new room, he will be provided the room code, the unique room code, where the other participants who want to join that room will have to type to actually join it. So we want to create two database models. The one will be for the room, so to store the name of the room and the also code of the room, and the other one will be the message database model to store the messages of the users that typed inside of that room. Alright, so once I explained everything, let's start writing the code. So first of all, I want to check if you have in the installed apps in our settings.py if you put this main installed app inside of that file, so make sure you have that, and let's start writing the code. Alright, as I said, the first model we'll have is the room model. So to create a new database model, you want to type class and the name of the class, so let's call it room. And you need to import, or you need to specify here models.model right here, so the Django knows that this is a database model you want to save information to. So to create new fields in this room model, we will just type name equal to models dot character field. Alright, and it will have the max length of let's put 100 characters. And we also need the code of the room, which will be the models dot character field also, and I'll put 10, but I'll probably store only 4 or 5 characters. And also for the code field in our room, we need to set the unique variable to be true, so we don't get an error later on if the two room codes are the same. Alright, and the second database model we need is the message one, so class message models.model, so the same thing we need to type. And now I will need to associate this message with the room the message is typed in. So what I mean by that, so if I type a message in programming room, I only want that message to appear in that programming room. I don't want, if I typed that message in the programming room, to show in the YouTube room or in the working room. So I want to associate the messages with the rooms. So you do that by typing room equals to models.foreign key, and we will associate it with the room class we created right here. So these two, this thing we typed here associated with this thing we just created. So, and also we need to create onDelete method to be models.cascade, and this onDelete method just helps us when we delete a room, all the messages associated with that room are gonna be deleted. Alright, the next field we'll need is the user field. So we want to create a user, for example admin user or joker user, to know which user typed that message. We want to be able to know which user typed which message, and later on if we add, for example, kick or ban, I don't know if we'll do that, but I'm just saying, we know which user to ban if he's saying some bad words, right? So also we'll need to use the foreign key for this and associate it with the user model, and also onDelete to be models.cascade. So we see the error for this user model. Since we didn't create it, we need to import it because the Django has its own user model already defined. So we need to from django.contrib.auth.models import the user model, and we see the error just disappeared. And the other two fields we need right here are the actual message field, or I'll put context so we don't get an error later on, right? And this will not be the foreign key, it will just be the text area or text field, sorry, field, and we don't need any of the parameters inside of these brackets. And also the last one will be the date, or let's call it date sent, date time field, and we'll set auto now add to true. So what this means, we just created this message database model that will be associated with the different rooms, with the different users, that will have something as the context what the user will type, and also when it was sent. And what this auto now add does, it just helps us define the date and also the time this message was sent. So if we send this message in 6 p.m. for example, that's what value of this variable will be. And let's right here define a couple of str methods, so in our admin dashboard later on we can know which object it is based on the home page. And let's put right here the f string, and let's put self.user.username, so who typed the message, and also what the message is, so that is just self.content. And I'll also put only the first 30 characters of that message, so if the message is long, we don't have the big string in our admin dashboard displayed. Alright, so once we defined all of our models for our project, we now want to create migrations and also push them to the database. So to do that, you want to type python manage.py make migrations. Alright, and you see, you should see these two models created right here. And the next thing we want to do is migrate these changes, so to actually apply them to the database. And also we will create a new super user, so create super user. The username, I'll just call him admin, although I always call admin user the admin user actually. Email address, you can pass that, and for the password, just type the password you want to use to log in later on to your admin user. So, and also I want to give you a tip. If you want to reference to the previous messages in your command prompt, just use the arrow keys, up and down arrow keys, to reference to those. Alright, and now to actually see those models in our admin dashboard, we need to register them in our admin.py. So right here, just type admin.site.register, and register the room model, and also we need to register the message. Alright, and we need to import those from .models, right? From .models, import room and message. And now we want to run the server so we can actually see those changes applied. You want to copy this actually. Alright, you want to copy this and just paste it right here and just type admin right here, and this should appear, this Django administration thing. And just type the credentials you typed inside of our command prompt. So this should be the password I typed, that is right. And we see right here actually the rooms model and the messages model we created. So we can create a new room actually. Let's call it, I don't know, work. And we'll have the code of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. And we can actually create a new message, reference it to the room object 1 and user admin. And for the context, I'll just put hello workers. Alright, and let's put 3 exclamation marks. Let's save that. Alright, I mistyped the context. I typed content here, but it should be context. Alright, and now if we refresh this, we see actually the admin user typed hello workers. And also I forgot to add the str string to this room model, so just put that. I'll just delete all of these things and just type right here self.name. And if we refresh this rooms, we should see actually the name of the room is displayed. Alright, in the previous video we added these two models to our models.py file, and now in this video, as I said, we're going to set up Django channels. And if you're wondering what are those, it's just the way the Django sends the request to the server but doesn't refresh the page. So remember, if you were watching my Spotify MP3 player clone video, we had those play buttons, and whenever we click that play button, the web page would refresh. And since this is a chatting application, it will be really not user friendly to refresh the page every time someone sends the message. So that's why we need the Django channels and also JavaScript later on to make it not refresh. Alright, so if I explained everything, let's start writing the code. So the first thing we want to do is actually pip install those Django channels. So you do that by typing pip install channels. Alright, and once it's installed, and once we install those Django channels, we need to import it to our installed apps. So just type right here channels. Alright, and now since we are dealing with WebSockets connections, we need to specify that to our Django settings, since by default it only handles HTTP requests, which is refreshing the page. But we need to specify that we want to also include those WebSocket connections, which doesn't refresh the page. So we can just copy this code right here, or actually these two, and let's put it just under this installed apps. By the way, you can find everything I typed here as well as the other episodes on my GitHub, link in the description. So now we can save this, and now let me explain this. So what is this ASGI application? So by default, Django runs on WSGI application, but since that only handles the HTTP responses, we want also to run WebSockets, which this also provides. So that's why we need this. And these channel layers, this defines how messages are passed between WebSocket connections. So this is good only for development of the server. If you want to upload this somewhere else, you need to use the other backend method, but yeah. Alright, so once we defined everything we need in our settings.py, now we want to run actually the backends. So go to our asgi.py, which you can find in your my site directory or whatever you called it. And let's first of all copy this code, and then I will explain what this does. So right here, we just want to check, as I said, ASGI handles both WebSockets and HTTP requests. And now we just want to see if the method is the HTTP, we want to use this method, and if it is a WebSocket, we want to create a new router, which you will see in a couple of seconds, and handle those requests like that. Alright, so once we did all of this, now in our main app directory, we want to create a new file called routing.py, and right here just copy all of this you see here. And what this does, so whenever the server is run using those WebSockets, the routing.py file will run, and it will redirect user to this URL, which helps us have the unique URL patterns. And when this does run, this chat consumer is going to run and actually run the functionality to receive, also send messages, join the chat rooms and other stuff. So that's why we need those WebSocket URL and patterns to actually cover that. Alright, so save that and create a new file called consumers.py. And right here, first of all, we want to copy all of this code. Alright, and now let me explain what this does. So it basically helps us handle those WebSocket connections. So remember, in our routing.py, whenever this URL is called, so this VS chat and the name of the room we specified in this models.py, this chat consumer is going to call itself and run some of these methods. So we have 4 of them. One is for connect, disconnect, receive, and chat message. So basically you have the comments right here to know which does which. And I'm really not going to go in depth of this code explaining every line, since it's really not easy to understand, really. If you want to actually find out what this does in depth, you can check on Google or ask ChatGPT, whatever you want. But yeah, we have done everything in our backend, and in the next video we're going to set up frontend and JavaScript to actually run this backend and actually send messages and also receive them. Alright, so in the previous video we actually created this backend to actually join the room, leave it, receive the messages, and also create them, right? And now in this video we're just going to set up a ability to log in, log out, and register users, as well as some little bit of HTML for the front end, like index page or navbar and other stuff, so we can later on not waste time on that and just devote this video about that. Alright, so since we're working with frontend and HTML, we will need to create a new templates folder to store the HTML files, templates. Alright, and also inside of that templates folder, we also need a main folder. We don't need it since we will not have a couple of apps. We will only have the main app, but I always do that, so yeah, I don't get mistaken later on. And in here, let's create two actually files. First one will be index.html, and the next one will be base.html. Now, since I did all of this in my Spotify MP3 player clone, I'll just copy the code from my GitHub, so you can go to this page called the Django Spotify clone on my GitHub account, and you can just find all of these files, and you can go to this main app, then find the templates and main, and just from here, let's first copy the base.html, and I will also explain, right, what every line does, right? So let me just delete all of this styling, since probably I won't use any of that. It's a lot, really. Also, let's save the body. I don't know what it does, but I will save it. And I need to actually close the styling style. Alright. Okay, so now as you can see, we have right here the logout, login, and register, and we also have this playlist stuff, and we won't need it since we are not working with playlists, so I will just delete it. And this home is okay, and yeah, I think we have everything. Let's just delete this to be Django chat app. And now you're probably wondering what this base.html file does. So you probably know we're going to have a couple of HTML pages, and on every HTML page we will have something that is the same on every page, and that is always the navbar, right? And also the styling, this style tag. Now, what this base.html file does is it just copies all of this code on every page, but you can always exclude this right from page you want. But whenever you put this base.html file on, all of this styling, all of this navbar, and all of this stuff will appear on that HTML file. So let me show you how it works. So you'll just need to have this block thing, so open the curly bracket and also this percentage sign, and inside of that you need to type the block thing and also the name of that block, and you always want to close that block, so yeah, you don't get an error. So inside of that blocks, we're going to type the code that is not the same on every page. So for example, on our index page we'll have something different than on our register, login, and logout pages, right? So you'll see right now what I mean by that. So we can go to again to this GitHub page and go to index.html and also copy all of that, so like that, and let's just paste it right here. We won't need this styling, and also let's delete this and type Django chat app. Alright, and now as you can see, we right here have extends and then where the file is located. So extends, so we are using main, right here created a file called main, and also base.html, so this is what the file is called. We could also call it, for example, startup.html, and it will still work, right? So that's how we call that base.html file. And right here, as you can see, we are again referencing to those blocks we just created right here. So we have block heading and also block body. So right here we're using that block heading to reference what the title will be, and right here for the body we are just displaying what we will need on this index page. And for the startup, I'll just create a h1 tag called h1 and just type this is index with, let's put 4 exclamation marks. Alright, and we can save this. And yeah, we did everything for the index.html, and let me just show you that it actually works. So right here we'll need to create a new view called index, and it will need to have the request as the keyword argument. And right here let's just put return render and render our template main, and it's called index.html, and we don't need anything for the context. And right here I already created this path, so we can just save it and put it as it is. And right here, if I refresh this page, comment it out, so let's do that. I'll actually comment all of these authentication things right here. And you can, by the way, comment it all by clicking Ctrl and then the slash symbol or this slash symbol. So let's refresh this. Alright, I don't know why I actually had to delete it. It didn't work by commenting out. So yeah, just delete it, and we can actually see all of this styling applied to this page. Actually, I like more the dark theme, since I don't want my eyes to be to be destroyed, right? So yeah, we right here have this is index. Right here we have the nav bar, and also the title of this web page is actually changed to Django chat app. So yeah, we did everything for the index page. Let's start building the other pages, which is register, login, and logout. Alright, so right here let's just create a new file called register.html, or actually I need to call it register_user, since Django has its own built-in function called login and also logout. So we will need to call it login user and logout users, to not mistaken the Django if we want to use the login function or login actually our view, right? So yeah, we have right here the register user, and we'll just copy it from our GitHub again. So yeah, just copy it right here. Register today. I think everything is okay right here. It is. So basically what we're doing is, again, we're extending this this base.html styling. Also, we don't need this style tag, I'll just delete it. We have right here the block heading to reference what is the title, and also this block body to reference what is the difference on every page, and that is just this form that is using the post method, since we want to we can actually delete this class. We're using this form so we can actually post the data to the website. So you have the get method and the post method. The get method just shows the page, and the post method just sends the data to the server, and server then can do whatever he wants with that data. So right here we're using this CSRF token, which just prevents from hacking the website, from hackers hacking the website. And also we have the tags, input tags, to actually show the user what he needs to type to actually log in or actually register the new user, right? So we have the username, password, and password 2, which is just the password you need to type again to actually confirm the previous typed one. Alright, so once we did all of that register thing, now we'll create a view to actually create a functionality for that register. So instead of our views.py, just again find this register_user. Now I know I'm copying every single line, but really I'm explaining actually everything, so you don't need to worry about that, since yeah, I already typed all of this code in my Spotify MP3 player clone, and I don't want again to waste my 2 hours typing all of this code, right? So yeah, we just need to import a couple of things, which are just this user, and I'll also copy this because we will need it for the login and logout. And also we need to import redirect. Alright, so what we're doing here, so we're checking if the request.method is post. So alright, so you see we have this form as method post, and right here we're just checking if we clicked this button, so this post method is going to appear if only if we click this button. So if the button is clicked, this request.method is actually post, and we are just going to grab the information from that data that is posted. So this username, password, and also password too. So those are just this name fields inside of our input tags. So we're grabbing this name fields that has the username, password, and password 2 names. And then we're checking a couple of validations, so we can actually save it later on. So we are checking first of all if the two passwords match, if the user didn't mistype something, and then we just want to give him the information that he did actually, and also if the user that has the same username actually exists, we just want to not create the actual user. So right here we are creating the new user using the username and password. Also we are saving him to the database and also logging him in right away, so we don't need to log in later on. You're automatically logged in, and then just redirecting him to use the actual page. And right here, if it doesn't work, we're just going to print an error to show what is the error. And also right here we have, if the request.method is not post, we just want to show him the page. So if the request.method is get, we're just showing him that register page. Alright, that was a lot, but let's start with the login. So login underscore user .html. Right here we'll just put this login user and copy it, also paste it. So I will not explain this since it is the same, really. Just deleted one line because we don't need the password too, right? And for the views, let's also copy that. So right here we have the login user, so we can copy that, and we can as well see. So we're checking again if the request.method is post, and I will not explain these two since it is the same thing, right? And also now this thing right here, this is used to find if the user exists in the database. So we are seeing if the username that we put inside of that form data right here, so this form, inside of this form, this username and password, if those two things match the user that exists in the database. So if the user actually exists in the database, so if he is not known, we want to log in him and also print that it is successful. And if it isn't, we just want to have him know that he actually mistyped something. And also if the request.method is not post, if it is get, we just want to print him that beautiful page about logging in. Alright, and the last thing we need is the logout. And this is the easiest. We don't need actually the HTML file since you just want to click a button, right? So right here, let's just have this logout user and paste it right here, and you see it's only 2 lines of code really. And we just want to type this already built out logout function from Django, which just logs out the user that is currently logged in and prints that he is successfully logged out and redirects back to the index page. I don't need more explanations since I already explained that, I think. Alright, so we did everything in our views and also HTML. Now we need to create the URLs for that. So right here we can just copy this and just put the other credentials. So right here just create register underscore user and also put the slash at the end. I'll just copy that and paste it right here. We don't need the slash. Alright. Also right here we'll have this with this right here, and also this one, and just change these 3 things to be login, and this one to be the log out. And that's it. We created all of the URLs we need, and we can now set it inside of our base.html. Let me find that. So right here we can just Control Z and actually print. We have already that specified right here. So we are checking if the user is authenticated. So which means if the user is currently logged in to our website, we want to show him only the logout view. So for example, you just logged in. Why would you have the login and register URLs instead of the navbar, right? You only want to have the logout one to log out. And also, if you're not logged in, why would you have the logout one since you're not logged in, right? We have everything. Let's just refresh our homepage and see if it actually works, if we didn't get any error. We didn't, so I'm currently logged into admin user. Let's just log out and register a new one. We'll style this later on. This will not look like this. We'll style it, right? So let's just put another username called subscribe. I already have it predefined here. Subscribe, alright. Put the password you want. And also, let's actually put the wrong password as the password too, to see if this validation actually works. So let's click register. And you see it actually doesn't work. And if we check the command prompt, passwords didn't match. So right here, let's put again subscribe. Alright, put the password. And also put the password. And we actually see we are logged in automatically, and we can check that by refreshing this page, and we see you authenticated as subscribe, and you can't access this admin page. And I forgot to actually check the other validation, which is just if we are creating the user that already exists with the username. So let's put admin right here, and I'll just put a random password that will be the same. And if we check right here, you can see actually username already taken. So yeah, we see all of our validations work. And also let's check the login one actually. Let's log into admin, since now we are logged out, right? Let's log into admin, put the password, and we can actually see it worked. But let's see if the admin dashboard actually appears. It does. Alright, in the previous video we added a ability to log in, log out and register users. And now in this video, using those users, each individual user can see the message, also he can send it, and everything will be in real time. So when, for example, someone sends a message, the page doesn't refresh or other stuff. Like, you don't want your page to refresh when someone sends the message. You want it to update in real time. So that's what we're going to build in this tutorial. So let's start right away. So right here, let's first of all create a new HTML file called, let's call it room.html. Alright, and now, as the previous videos, I'm just going to copy all of this and then explain what every line does. Alright, so what we're doing here. So right here, we're just defining these blocks for the styling of this page. So right here we have the block heading, which will have this title, and also block body with this title. So we see right here we're displaying the name of the room. So we're going to get a room by the that ID we talked about. So let me find it in the models. So we're going to get it by this code. So we're going to type chat/55555, and we're going to display a working room, and that has the name of the work, and that is what is going to display right here. And now for this part, and we're showing every message that is created inside of that room. So we are not showing the messages that are shown in the training room if we are in the working room. So that's what we are showing right here. And we see we'll show the who typed the message, when it is sent by the hours, seconds, or sorry, minutes and seconds, and also what is actually inside of that message. And right here we just have a input tag, which really you just want to type the messages you want, and it has the ID of message input. Really important to put this ID thing, since you need to have it to use it in the JavaScript later on. And the last part for this HTML stuff is just this button that has the on-click send message function, which also is really important to put, because once you click it, this function of JavaScript will run and do something with it. Alright, and let's now jump to the JavaScript part. So right here we're creating this chat socket variable, which we are using to create and handle the WebSocket connections. So right here we're just creating a new WebSocket connection to this URL right here, which is the URL we created in our routing.py. So you see right here vs chat and then room code, and we see it right here vs chat and that room code also. So that's what we're creating right there. And right here we are just displaying whether the chat socket is actually connected. We just want to send a debugging message. You can really delete it, but yeah, that the actual connection is established. Alright, and now for this part of the code, so we are just receiving the messages from the WebSocket. So right here we are parsing the JSON data so actual website can read it, right? And right here we are getting the chat box that has the ID of chat box. So we are getting this div tag that has the ID of chat box, and then we are creating this new message thing, which basically has the same data as this one. So username, date, and also the content. So you see it right, username, date, and content. We're just appending that new message that is created to our actual inner HTML, which is just that chat box thing. So we see it right here. So we are appending message to this div tag, and then just auto scrolling it to the latest message, since yeah, why would you be on the first message when the last message is right here? You want to auto scroll to that latest message. Alright, so the next part is this chatSocket.onClose function. So right here, when the WebSocket closes, we're just going to reconnect it after 1 second. So it could close, for example, if you're AFK for a long time, and yeah, we're just going to reconnect the WebSocket again so you can use it without running the server again. This is just the debugging part, so if we got any errors, we're just going to print it inside of our console in the JavaScript console, right? So yeah, you can even delete it, but I will keep it for debugging really. Alright, and now for the most exciting parts, we are just sending messages in this part. So right here we have this function that sends a message, and right here we're just getting what is typed inside of that message input tag. So right here it is just this input tag that has the ID of that message input, so we're getting information from that. Later on we're just trimming or getting the actual value of that message from that message input tag. So what the user typed, we just want to get that and save it inside of this variable right here. And now if the message actually exists, so if the user didn't type a blank input tag, we just first of all want to make sure this WebSocket is actually open. So if it is closed, we don't want to send messages, right? So we're just checking that, and if it is, we just want to send actual message that has this username and also message stuff. And then right here we just want to clear that input field when the message is sent. And yeah, I forgot, this is a JSON object which we are parsing data from right here. So when we are receiving the messages, we are parsing that JSON data we got from right here. Alright, and now let's jump to the actual backend of this website. So right here we just want to copy all of this again. Sorry for copy and pasting, but I want to save your also my time. But yeah, I'm really explaining every single line, so yeah, I hope you understand it. So right here, this is really easy part. So we're just getting this room code from the URL. We're going to create a URL in a second. So we're getting a room code from that URL and just finding if the actual room exists in the database using that code. So for example, in our URL we can type a room code of 55555, and if that room actually exists, it will return a raw object right here. And for the messages, we just want to filter the messages that are associated with that room that has that room code of 55555. We're just getting the past messages of that room. And right here we're just returning the template room.html with these two things inside of the context. So we can use it, this room, to show the name of the room, and these messages to actually display the messages of the room. Alright, and now let's create the URL for that sending messages. So right here, let's create a new URL called chat, and also we'll need a str of that room code. So alright, so this right here, so in this views room code, that's what we are getting right here. That is what this str represents. And we also need to call this function also with the name of that function. So yeah, we are just referencing that we want to use this backend for that URL. And now I think we got everything. Alright, and I forgot one part, which is just installing a new package we need to use to actually run the WebSockets. Alright, so what I mean by that, so a normal Python manage.py run server doesn't actually have that functionality to run the WebSockets. So we need to install a new package to actually do that. So just right here type pip install Daphne. I think it is spelled like that, but yeah, just type that. And right here, once you installed it, we also need to import it. So, or sorry, just put it inside of our installed apps. So right here, and very important, put it as the first installation of this installed apps. So right here put Daphne. And also I want to point out this, so if you get this error right here, I'll delete this first. You should go to this ASGI thing and just type this, so import Django, and then put this Django.setup with these brackets right here, so it will actually resolve that error. It worked for me. If it didn't work for you, or if it won't work for you, I'm sorry, you'll need to find a other solution, but this worked for me. So import Django and then Django.setup inside of that ASGI.py file. So yeah, if I explained everything, let's just run that server and we should actually see if it works. So right here, let's just run the server. Alright, I forgot to put the comma right here. So now we can actually run the server. Let me just clear this screen. So right here, you can type python manage.py and then run server. And if it worked for you, you should see this starting ASGI Daphne version and other stuff. Now, if it didn't work for you, you will not get this stuff right here. You will get the normal stuff, which is just starting development server, I think. So this will be right here instead of this Daphne thing. So if it didn't work, you need to rewatch the video or something, since you mistyped something or didn't do. But yeah, if it worked for you, you should see this. And now we can actually check our website, so refresh all of this stuff. And let's actually go to these rooms and let me see what is the code. It is 55555. So let's just put it right here. So chat and then 55555. And we actually see the message I created later in the previous videos, this hello workers. And let's actually see, I'm currently logged in as admin. So we see it right here, welcome admin. So let's actually send a new message and see if the page refreshes. So let's type hello YouTube. And let's put 5 exclamation marks. Alright, and you see actually the page didn't refresh. So it actually updated right here. And if we check in the messages, this new message is created inside of the database. But the page didn't refresh and it actually showed. And we can actually check another thing. So if I go to the new incognito tab and again go to this page and let's log into team user, so team right here, and put the message. So right here we're logged in as team, so we can go to this chat as 55555 and you actually see all of the messages. And let me just put all of this right here, and now we can type a new message. Let's type it as the team user. Let's type subscribe and let's put a lot of the exclamation marks. Let's send the message and it should update right here in the real time, also without refreshing the page. That's it. Right, so in the previous video we created a functionality and also showed it in our frontend to actually send and receive messages. And now in this video we're going to create a functionality to actually find rooms and also create new ones, since only way to find new rooms is by typing them in the URL up there, but this is not that is not user friendly really. And to create rooms you can only do it with the admin dashboard, and that is not also user friendly. So yeah, in this video we're going to create a functionality to find rooms and also create new ones in our front end. So let's start right away. So right here, let's create a new file called, let's call it findroom.html, and I'll actually copy all of this from the index file, since yeah, I don't want to type this stuff right here myself. I already typed it a ton of times. So right here, let's just delete this title and let's type find a chat room. Let's put it like this, and instead of this h1 tag we need two things. We need, or three things actually. We need a form, input tag, and also the submit button to actually submit it. So right here, let's just create a new form tag with the post method. We can delete this action thing. So right here we have this form with the method of post, and what this essentially means is when we type a input tag right here and submit it, the request that is sent to the server will be post, and that means the user is posting data to the server, and then server grabs that data and later on does something with that data, and that something is just redirecting that user to that room that has the specified code that user typed right there. So I maybe confused you, but let's start writing the code and you will understand it better once we write it all. So right here we have a input tag with the type of text, and also we need to put a name field right here for actually accessing that data in our Python backend or Django backend. So right here, let's call it room_codes. And also we need a submit button, so let's just type right here button with the type of submit. I'll not complicate it, but just type submit. Alright, now we can save this and let's go to our views.py, and right here we'll just create a new view that we can get that information from that input tag right here. So get information from that, and then find a room that has the room code specified in that form that we just created. So right here, let's create a new function. Let's call it find_room, and we will only need a request parameter right here in the brackets. And now we need only two things for the validations right here. The first validation will be whether the user is logged in or not. Now we need our users to be logged in because we made our application to send messages only if the users are logged in. So only the logged in users can actually send the messages. So yeah, that's why we need that validation of the logged in users, since why would a not logged in user join a room when he can't send the messages but he can only read them, and I don't want to do that. So let's just put right here if request.user.is authenticated. We're just going to check that other validation I was talking about, which is just request equals to post. If the user clicked a button right here, this will be the post request, which sends data to the server, and we can grab it using this request.method equals post thing we just created. And if it does equals post, we're just going to find this name variable room code. So room code equals request.post, and then put that room code right here, and this line just gets the code that is typed inside of that input tag right here. So now what we want to do with that room code, we just want to redirect a user to that chat room that has the specified room code that we just typed inside of that input tag. So let's just do that. So we need to return a redirect to that chat room function inside of the quotation marks, and also put the keyword argument room code to be equal to this room code variable we just created. So this will return a user that just typed the code inside of that input tag to this chat room function that has the keyword argument of this variable right here. And if the request.method is not post, so if we are not posting data to the server but rather getting it, we just want to return a render, so return a render or template, HTML template with the request. Also where it is located, it's just main slash find underscore room dot HTML. And for the context, we don't need anything. So right here, we are just going to, if the user is not authenticated, so if the user is not logged in, else delete all of this and put return redirect again, or sorry, I'm going to return it to login view right here. So yeah, again, let me explain everything we just typed. So if the user is logged in, we're going to check if he clicked the button, and if he did click the button, we're just going to get the information he typed inside of that input tag and then return him to that room that has the ID, or sorry, that has the code of that room code he specified. And yeah, if he isn't logged in, we're just going to redirect him to the login view to actually help him log in, right? So yeah, we have everything right here. So let's just check it right here. We first of all need to create a URL, right? Yeah, let's call it find underscore room. We don't need these str things. All right. And this is not find room, or this is not chat room, this is find room. And yeah, we have everything. Let's just check it right here. So find underscore room. Now again, this is not styled, but I will style it in this video. Let's type 55555 since that is the only room we have. Alright, I forgot one thing. And that is just the srf token. So let's put it right here. CSRF token. And we need it since that prevents hackers from hacking our data. So let's just do that. So 55555, and we see we are redirected to that chat room with that specified code. Alright, and now we will create a functionality to actually create new rooms using the actual front end and not the backend. So right here, let's create a new room, or sorry, new HTML file called create underscore room.html. And right here, actually, we are just going to copy all of these things and create a chat room. And I will also copy this input tag since we need two input tags, one for the name of the room, so we see it in our models right here. So we need a name of the room and also code of the room, so that's why we need two input tags. And right here, let's type room code, and the other one will be name, that just like that. And we'll help the user by typing a placeholder, typing name, and also placeholder code. And that's it. We can now create a view for this. So right here, let's go to our views.py, and I will copy all of this since it is really not the same but really similar. And let's call it create room, not find room. And now instead of this is authenticated, I will put if the user is super user, so only admin users can create new rooms. And if he is the super user or admin user, however you want to call it, then we will have him actually post that data to the database. So if he isn't, let's redirect him to the find room. I don't care. We are getting right here the room code. That is right, I think. Let me put this here. So yeah, room code, and the other name field we need to get is the room name. So we're just going to copy this and change this to be room name. Alright, and after we got two of these variables, now we're going to create a new room in the database. So we can do that by typing room.objects.create, and we need to use this from our models.py, not routing but models, this name and code fields right here. So let's just type name equals to this room name, and also code equals to room code. And that's just create a new room using those room name and room code variables right here. And once that room is created, I actually need to put this inside of the variable, so let's call it new room equals to that. And now I'm just going to put a room code dot code. So yeah, when the new room is created, we are just going to redirect that admin user that just created that room to this actual room that has that code of that just created room. So I think I explained it clearly, and for this we just need to type create room, and if he isn't a super user, yeah, that's okay. I think we have everything. Let's just put it right here. So this is not find, it is create room, and I think we have everything. Let's check it right here. So it's not find room, it is create room. Enter, and we see we are logged in as admin currently, and that is why we have this page showed up. And for the name, let's put train, or let's put train. And for the code, let's put 5 2s. And we see right here we created a new chat room train, and we can check it right here. We just created a new room called train inside of our front end, and not actually this Django administration thing. Alright, so now I'm going to create a new user so I can show you that he is not a admin user and that he can't actually create a new room. So let's right here type I don't know, comment user. Alright, password, let's put the passwords to actually work, since we already checked that login and register things in the previous video. Yeah, we have everything. Let's just go to that find room, so we can find the room train. Yes, we can do it, but let's do the create one. So create room right here, and you see it redirected us to the find room. It didn't actually show us that create room whatsoever, so that's why we put it this. So let me again go to this. If we for example moved this, if we did this or actually this, it would allow us to actually access this page but not actually send the data. But yeah, we can try again now, since I actually added that. So create room. So we see actually this page appeared, but if we try to create a new room, let's put dump data here and code, I'll type 5 4s, and you see it redirected us to this find room view right here. So yeah, we can actually check again if we log out right here, and let's log in again as admin, and we can see in our rooms the room is actually not created. So yeah, you see how it works now. We can actually bypass that, but I actually like it more this way, since yeah, why would you show it? Why would you show him the page when he can't access it or use it actually? And yeah, we did everything right here, and I will just add it. Let me find my base.html. I will add those links inside of the navbar right here. So if the user is authenticated, we want to show him the find room function. So right here, let's put right here find underscore room, and put as the context right here find room. And again, this find room thing displayed right here, we are getting from this name field right here, so from this. And also we will need if the user is actually super user, so if super user, we are going to show him that not find room, but rather create room. So create room. Alright, and I actually need to end if right here. I will put this actually above this, since maybe I will get an error if I don't do that. So right here, and yeah, that's it. Now if we refresh this page, I'm currently logged in as admin user, so I should see all of the pages that could actually get. Yeah, I see create room, and I also see the find room. But if I log out right here and log into the comment user, yeah, I should only see the find room not in the navbar right here. So yeah, we find out that it works actually. In the previous video, we created a functionality to create new rooms and also find already created ones. But if we take a look at our website, those forms really don't look really good. And if we try to find a new room, for example, this could really get some styling really, but that's what we'll do in this video, so we can make every single page better. Also login and register are not really beautiful. Alright, so once I explained everything, let's start styling the pages. So I actually have all of my snippet codes right here in my notebook, but you can find all of my snippets in the link in the description on my GitHub account. So take a look at that if you want to copy all of this code. So right here I'm just going to copy all of this stuff so we can later on style it in our base.html. I'm just going to change this to be URL of find room. Alright, that's it. Now we can try to style the base.html. Let's just copy all of this stuff, paste it all here. Now I know this is copy and pasting, but this is only styling stuff, so you don't need really to memorize all of this. Really, I took a long time to style all of this, and I don't want you to watch me doing it in a video. It would be like 2 hours of a video. So yeah, this is only styling, that's why I'm copy and pasting. But yeah, we can now take a look actually, and really the stuff will change. You see, this really now looks more like a homepage really. We can chat in a chat room. Alright, so I actually should have called this login user, so that just change that. Yeah, now we can actually refresh this page and try again. So let's try chat in a chat room, and it redirects us to the login page because we're not logged in currently. So yeah, you see, I actually made a functionality when you're active on this page, for example, register user. It shows right here that you're actually active on that page. So yeah, that's really nice thing to see. Now let's get to another file. This is room.html. Now this really looks really good. Let's just add it right here, and we can actually check it by doing a find room. Or first I need to log in, right? Alright, let's chat in a chat room 55555, and you see, really this looks really good now. We can see our messages on the right side and other users' messages on the left side. Now we can, for example, type a new message: subscribe to all code Joker, and let's put a ton of exclamation marks. Alright, and we see actually it really looks really good, and yeah, I like the styling of this. So now we can try to add a new styling to the find room. So this is a form. Let's add it in our find room. Alright, clear those indentations, unnecessary indentations, and also we need a create room, so we'll do it right away. Alright, I just fixed the error of not showing the find room and create room, or it isn't actually an error, I forgot to add them in my navbar. So now we have actually every single link inside of our navbar right here, so we can check it. You see, this create a chat room and find room are really good, and we only need a login and register, which I actually forgot to add, but let's just do it. Let me just do it off the camera so you can actually copy it from my GitHub. Alright, so I styled every single HTML file we have in our project, so let's take a look at this project for one final time. Register and login is styled again. Now let's register a new user to actually see if everything works. So let's create a new user called Joker. Alright, let's create a password. I will not mistype a password since we already checked the validations in the previous videos. So yeah, we logged in automatically. Now we can find a new room, since we're not a admin user, to actually create a new one, and we see all of the chat messages that are not mine are displayed on the left side. And if I type right here my message as the Joker user, it will appear on the right side. So let's try to do that. So let's type hello workers, my friends. Alright, let's send this message, and we see actually it appeared on the right side. It's not just for the admin users or whatever you could have imagined. So yeah, this actually works, and we see it didn't refresh actually. And now let me log out again, and let's check, for example, the admin user with the create room, and let's create a new room. Let's call it, I don't know, programming. Alright, so let's put a room code of 99999. Alright, create a new room, and right here let's add a new message. Let's type Django is the best, and let's put 3 exclamation marks. Let's send this message, and we see it actually everything works. Alright, and now one final thing I want to check is actually the two clients talking to each other. So let's try it right here. So right here I'm logged in as admin, I think, and right here I'm team. So let's type a new room code, or the room code for the programming room, and we see we are admin right here because we're on the right side, and we see this silverish color right here. And let's type a new message as team user, and let's type just I agree. Alright, no exclamation marks right here, and we see it actually updated in real time, and also it didn't refresh the page like, or it would if it didn't use the JavaScript. So you see everything works right here, and we could have, for example, added a banning or kicking from the rooms or something like that, but I'm not going to scale this project. I just wanted to show the basics of these channels. Later on I will probably create advanced projects using those kick, ban, and other stuffs, but for this project I just wanted to show you that Django channels actually work, and that they are really useful. If you like this video, make sure to check out the pinned comment of this video. I made a free PDF guide on how to help you pass the beginner stage and escape the tutorial hell, and also I have got another great video right here on screen. Make sure to check it out, and I'll see you in that one.